Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with episode 7 of our Breaking Point Let's Play. Yesterday we're here back. Obviously if you missed out on yesterday's video, I would definitely recommend going back and checking out some spicy scenes once more behind obviously Aiden Jackson and Casper Ackerman at this late stage of the campaign. We also had a brilliant race at the Austrian Grand Prix, trying to carve our way back through the order. But as we head into chapter 12 though, here today, let's see what's going down.
Casper.
What's going on?
We need to clear something up. Take a seat.
Clear what up?
Aiden thinks it's his fault that you're retiring.
I'm sorry, Casper. I do respect you. Quite a lot, in fact. And I don't want you to retire. I didn't mean the things that I said. And I want you to know that if you're retiring because of me, I'll...
Will you tell him? This anxiety, it's no good for his performance.
I'm not retiring because of you.
Everyone says...
I'm not retiring because of you. Can I go now?
No. You're going to give him 2 minutes of your time.
Well, Brian, what am I? His therapist?
2 minutes, Casper. That's all.
Everyone says...
Everyone's an idiot. Look, I'm not retiring because of you. I told Brian after Zandvoort. I'm sorry you found out the way you did.
It's tough.
Yeah, can be.
The press. Social media. I don't know. How'd you deal with it all?
Listen. There's only a handful of us in the whole world who get to do what we do.
Yeah.
A handful. You deal with it by never forgetting how lucky you are to be here. Understand? Never forget.
Hey, Casper.
Yeah?
Do you ever forget?
Sometimes. Sometimes we all do.
Some wise words there from Casper Ackerman. But anyway, heading into Chapter 12 as the 2021 season rolls on, the F1 grid moves to the historic Spa-Francorchamps circuit, with Casper Ackerman sustaining his recent run of form. Alfa Romeo hopes that both of its drivers can maintain this level of performance. Let's see what's going down here at Belgium.
It's Sunday and that means it's race time here in Spa. As the cars are being prepared, let's join them trackside for the start of the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 meters of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Norris, Sergio Perez, and Ricciardo, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, and Lance Stroll, Mazepin, Ackerman, Esteban Ocon, and Butler, Jackson, Russell, Sebastian Vettel, and Mick Schumacher, Gasly, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Right, so here we are then on the grid, ready for the Belgian Grand Prix. And oh, it's looking like an interesting one here today. Perhaps some rain towards the end could prove this one to be rather spicy here at Belgium. But fingers crossed we can try and get ourselves up to the points at the very least. Got to keep our head down and focus. No idea what happened to Gasly in qualifying for him to find himself so far down the order. But let's get into the Grand Prix. What's the objective for this one? Finish in the top 5. 5 red lights. Very long hole, but it is finally lights out, and away we go. Not off to the best start in the world. So we head down towards turn 1. Got to be careful of Mazepin there, as everyone up the inside. You can see Jackson, our teammate, having a bit of a send through the first couple of corners. It's just nowhere to go on the exit of turn 1 there, as we head down in towards Rouge and Radion for the first time in this Grand Prix. Ocon and Mazepin still side by side as they head up the hill, and look at the run. We're going to be able to get the better of them. Straight past the key to Mazepin there, the Haas car. He did a very, very good job in qualifying, but has not got the same sort of race pace as a lot of the other cars he's battling with at the start of the Grand Prix. Jackson, though, has gone all the way up to 10th at the start of the Grand Prix there. He's battling with Sainz for 9th place here. He's had an absolute worldly of a start as we head back down through Sector 2 up the inside of Ocon, though. We do get the power down nice and tidy. Oh, Stroll just a bit slow. Luckily, somehow no front wing damage from that one. We got away, yeah, a bit lucky in that situation. There's Mike trying to get a bit of a run on Stroll down in towards P1 though. Nothing happening this time round. We'll slot back in for now. Oh, Stroll really, really slow out of Stavelot here as we head up in towards Blanchemont. Can we get a good run up in towards the final couple of corners of the lap? A big old Stroll squeeze from Lance Stroll. Not a big old Stroll from Lance squeeze. But anyway, in towards the final couple of corners, we'll try and cut back to the inside of the Canadian. Up the inside we go. In the squeeze over that inside curb, and he will bail out. So we've both moved up places then on that one. Jackson number to 10th, us up into P11.
Rain in a couple of laps, Casper. Repeat, rain is forecast.
So rain is expected in this Grand Prix, so we've got to be really, really careful. There might be a bit of a strategy call from the team about who gets to pit for wets or inters. Trying to use a bit more of our battery though to get the run on our teammate. Aiden Jackson is going to go defensive on us. It's going to be side by side between the two Alphas. It's gone very wrong like this before. In towards this Fanya chicane though. We do just about hold on. That's not the Fanya chicane. That's the Kemmel. I don't know. Is that Fanya's? No, Fanya's is the one down the bottom of the hill. Definitely a little bit of rain starting to spit down here at Spa. So we try and close it to the back of Carlos Sainz in his Ferrari. Now the question very quickly becomes who is going to have to pit and who's going to be the first to blink in this Grand Prix as we look to the outside of the Ferrari up towards Blanchemont. Again, another big squeeze coming in. The AI not afraid to get their elbows out on F1 2021. Round the outside through Blanchemont though. Sainz tries to get in front of us there, but still just keeping the wheel alongside. Pretty even on the brakes into the final chicane. But we do slot past him and out up into 9th place here, making good progress early on. As Hamilton still applying the pressure to Verstappen. DRS enabled. Up the inside of Alonso, we tried to cut across me there. We lock at the rears, but we do get it slowed down. And we're now up into 8th.
The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
Big battles going on up the road there. I think that's Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. Yes, it is at the end of the Kemmel Straight. I think Leclerc might just hold on.
Is available on the MFD.
Team recommending us a new strats. Ricardo tries to go defensive, but can't quite get there. Oh, it's going to be all very tight squeeze between myself and Ricardo, but we do get up the inside, and we are absolutely thriving in these changeable conditions. It's always where I feel my strongest on an F1 game, on a dry to wet track, or vice versa. Up the inside of Lando into P1. Thank you very much. We'll have that spot. I'm into 6th.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline.
So we did get the 1 lap of DRS, but yeah, the FIA is saying it's far too damp now, which definitely means it is time to make the switch there. It's mad how much grip these things have got. The fact that that's still pretty much flat out on a very, very dampening track there. Nice big lock up in towards the final chicanes. Oh no! That's not going to help us. We've caused a roadblock in towards the pits lane here. Oh, that's not gone well. Norris actually gets a 5-second penalty for illegal blocking there as well behind him. That was carnage. Come on, get the car straight. There we go, into the pits. Oh, that was all a bit dramatic all of a sudden, but we have made it into the pit lane. And somehow we haven't lost too many places either through all of that. It's going to give the top guys quite a big advantage there, as Aiden has pit behind us rather annoyingly. So he's going to probably get held up a little bit in the pits. 2.6 though is not too shabby for us. So we head back down the pit lane. You can see there's Sainz barely out
Pit
up the
strategy
road.
complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
That's going to be a warning as well. Right, now we've got to try and get the power down. Keep this thing in one piece for the remainder of the Grand Prix. Sainz is so slow on those soft tyres though. He's just got nothing past him, like he's in a road car at that stage of the Grand Prix. As Vettel's only a couple of seconds up the road as well. Top two are going to have to pit here, so I think it's going to be Bottas that inherits the lead of the Grand Prix there. No idea why Verstappen and Hamilton didn't get the first call. But Leclerc, 3 seconds up the road still. We should be back up into P4 of this race once all these other guys do pit. A little bit deep in towards the final chicane, but no spins this time round. So we head through the final corner. Ocon into the pit lane as well. No, it was Hamilton that still leads the way then. So Perez and Bottas did get the first call. Oh, sorry, Hamilton and Verstappen got the first call even. Perez and Bottas have to stay out there, as there is Sergio Perez. We'll just get past him and now up into fourth. Hasn't taken long before Perez is coming back at us though, as we head up the Kemmel Straight. Is Sergio going to be able to make this move work in towards the corner? No, much earlier on the brakes than ourselves. So that was nice to see the AI fighting a bit more.
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up.
Ooh.
10 minutes.
There we go, might dry up then, before the end of the Grand Prix again. How interesting would that make this race? We get another set onto the dries there. Hamilton Verstappen though still battling out at the front of the field as the gap to Leclerc is slowly coming down still. Maybe we can right the wrongs of Zandvoort as... Why on earth are they in? Are they going on full wets? Hamilton, yes, opted for full wets in this Grand Prix there, so they definitely reckon there's been a big transfer.
Over to full wet. Come in and change your tyres if you need to.
I don't think it's worth it. I think the Inters are absolutely fine at this stage of the Grand Prix, and if it's meant to get drier again, certainly no need for it. Anyway, we'll monitor the gap to Hamilton then, but a lot of guys, yeah, coming in onto those full wets.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
What are the teams saying? They're now saying wet tyres is the way to go as well, but I just don't think it's worth it at this stage, especially if it's going to get drier again. We'll have to pit back onto Inters, which I don't think is worth about the 40-second time loss in this Grand Prix. But we'll carry on for now. This might be a brave but stupid call from me.
It's borderline, but if I were you, I'd come in and change tyres. I'm just not sure we're on the right ones for the conditions anymore.
Yep, see the team's still saying borderline though. Verstappen in though at the end of lap 6. So it certainly is, everyone else feels it's time. But look at that, we pulled about another second on Hamilton this lap.
Of fuel remaining.
If the rain stays about where it is or gets a bit better, we could romp away in this race. Gap to Hamilton is still pretty much staying level as we head on to lap 8 of this Grand Prix. And remember, all we need is a top 5 to complete the team's objective. I'd love the win though here today. There's definitely a couple more puddles starting to form off the line. At the moment you can still see there the grip through Rouge is absolutely fine, no sliding or dramatics. We've only got 4 to go. The team is still saying lap after lap we do need to pit still in this Grand Prix. They come round pretty much at the end of the Kemmel Straight and then also down through Stavolo every time with a new strategy that's just telling us to come in onto the wets. But at the moment the gap to Hamilton now up to 9 seconds. Surely we can get this thing to the flag. And I mean, the rain's meant to be getting less and less now. And as the rain now starts to settle again here at Belgium, you can see that gap now up another 3 seconds in this Grand Prix. We have braved the storm up to this point, and it has worked out beautifully for us. Just 2 laps to go, and we could be on for an historic win here for Casper Ackermann. Heading down through the Fania chicane for the final time there here at Belgium, and look at that gap, up to 20 seconds here. I'm surprised no one behind. Didn't think it was worth a punt going on to a set of Inters at the very end of this Grand Prix, because I mean there's not even any rain anymore. The track is drying out. Wouldn't be far away from dries again, I don't think, here at the Belgian Grand Prix. But we just missed out earlier on in the year. Remember that titanic battle we had with Hamilton and Verstappen at Zandvoort there, where we lost out to Hamilton by under half a tenth at the end of the race there. But in towards the final couple of corners here from the Belgian Grand Prix, it's finally a race victory for Sauber. Their first one since 2008 and just their second ever one in Formula 1. That is what I'm talking about.
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
All I'm saying is that the team are back in the mix this season. That's how good you've done.
Yeah.
You're ending your career on a high just like you wanted. You really couldn't ask for much better. You want one?
Hmm?
What's wrong?
Nothing. What? Nothing. I'm fine.
You haven't driven like this in ages. You're out there having a great time. You're raking in the points, but you're doing your moody face.
I'm not doing my moody face. Stop that.
Like this.
Okay. It's Aiden.
What about him?
Well, he's still not right. He's moping around, anxious, apologetic. I think he's struggling.
I thought you were going to ignore him.
Yeah, but he's just a kid. He needs support.
From you?
So, how many races have I got left?
What's this all about, Cass?
Let's say that I've got 3 or 4 months left in F1. What if...
Go on.
Nah, forget it.
No, what?
You laugh at me.
Promise not to.
It just sounds so stupid.
What does?
What if I can...
Oh my God.
What?
You've gone soft, haven't you?
I knew you'd make fun of me.
You want to make the F1 world a better place before you retire. You want to help the team, help Aiden, your own career be damned.
And what if I did?
So Casper Ackerman does have a heart after all. I'll alert the media.
Look, Zoe, I'm serious. What if I did?
What could you do?
Well, Ferrari have a seat coming up next season. Some say they might even sign him. That is his dream.
And you think you could help?
I honestly don't know.
So more and more talks then coming from Casper Ackerman. They're wondering whether he should help his teammate Aiden Jackson get that seat at Ferrari ready for next year there. But we'll have to wait and see as to what happens. I think, yeah, if Aiden knew that, he'd probably be trying to stay on Casper's good side throughout the rest of the year here. But, of course, Casper Ackerman has been doing better than Aiden Jackson so far this year. So there's questions as to whether Aiden might be the right driver for the Ferrari team next year. Let's head into Chapter 13. So with an impressive run of form behind him and renewed focus, Casper Ackerman and Alfa Romeo are hoping that they can continue to build on their performance as they head to the Russian Grand Prix in Sochi and into the final third of the 2021 calendar. With few laps remaining, Ackerman has found his Alfa Romeo outperforming many of the other cars on the grid. An alternative tyre strategy appears to have put Ackerman in the perfect position to challenge for an even greater finishing position and even a chance at fastest lap.
Casper, we think you can push for the fastest lap.
Not now.
Yep, we're in a strong position. See what you can do.
No problem.
Our gap behind is 35.4 seconds.
Right, so heading back out onto the track then, as we just pull off our move on Sebastian Vettel. We need top 10 and set the fastest lap there, as one of the Mercedes has just dropped out of the Grand Prix, and one of the Red Bulls has done so as well. What on earth's going on at this stage of the Grand Prix? There are a couple of big failures for them, but we need fast lap of the Grand Prix as well here if we want to try and score a big result.
Gap to car in front is 2.8 seconds.
So yeah, we need to be absolutely flying over these last few laps. We'll save the battery this time round and see if we can try and get a bit more. With Sergio Perez, then new fast lap on a 34.5. At least we now know what we're aiming for in this Grand Prix as we go purple through Sector 2. Is George Russell going to hold us up through Sector 3 though? Up the inside we go. We do get past the Williams. That was all nice and tidy. As Schumacher a lap down already in this Grand Prix. Right on the final corner, Schumacher does finally jump out of the way, which is good for us as we just miss out on fastest lap by a couple of hundredths there to Sergio Perez. So this lap has got to be the one where we try and get that fastest lap there. Not long to go as well in this Grand Prix. We've still got to try and get points as well. Gap to Gasly and Ocon really coming down over the course of this lap. Perez, though, another fastest. Goes marginally faster that time round.
The fastest lap of the race.
So trading fastest laps with the Red Bull man. He is, I think, leading this Grand Prix as well, though, so I'm sure he'd love to try and get the full 26. But we could do with a bonus point for Alfa Romeo still. Closer to the back of Gasly and Ocon as we head through the final couple of turns. Hopefully these guys aren't going to hold us up all too much either. Gasly very slow through the penultimate corner, through the final one as well. He's not particularly great. But it is going to be new fast lap of the Grand Prix though, 33.8. That should be enough to see us through to the end of this one. We'll get past these two, start saving some battery, just in case Perez finds a bit more there as we go for the double overtake. Going past them like they're stood still down in towards turn 2. I'm going to try and use Devon Butler to potentially open us up a better run in towards the last couple of laps here of this Russian Grand Prix. We might try and go for another fast lap here as well, just in case, like we said, Perez does find any more. And look at that. The AlphaTauri man, though, gives us a big old squeeze as we head back down through turn 1. Clean around the outside we go, though. We have got another couple of guys, Alonso and Sykes, battling it out, though. Hopefully they can get on with it. It don't cost us too much there. As all Sykes gets squeezed out over the curbing. Alonso always the hard racer. The two Spaniards going at it as they head through turn 3 in this Grand Prix, completely pinned in 7th gear. We come towards the end of Sector 1. Sykes gets squeezed out there. Alonso doesn't get a particularly great run either. So you head in towards Sector 2. Oh, Alonso tried to give me the squeeze. But we do get the nose at the inside there. And that's another double overtake. AIDEN's only 4 seconds up the road. Heading round in towards the final few corners, though, of this Russian Grand Prix. Oh, my. Holy moly. I've never taken off so far on F1 2021. That one was a bit wild. That was quite impressive. I had to go back and watch that one on the replay towards the end of this Grand Prix there. But it looks like AIDEN is going to get the jump on Charles Leclerc right at the end of the Grand Prix there. So for his chances of joining Ferrari, that is absolutely critical for our young teammate there. But we've almost sent this thing, well, I mean, over towards Ukraine, I guess? I don't really know. Anyway, through the final couple of corners though, Perez does win the Grand Prix though, luckily. Doesn't snatch the fastest lap away from us once more. And as we head down through the final turns, it's going to be points with the fastest lap. Exactly what we needed.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
That's quite some achievement for Alfa Romeo's Casper Ackermann, getting the fastest lap hand.
Yeah, it's not often that you see any team outside of the top 3 pick up that extra point. Alfa Romeo went with what looked like an aggressive tyre strategy, but it paid off for them. Incredible, really.
Alfa Romeo now very much in the mix for a strong midfield finish this season. And who knows, they might even be eyeing up 4th place. They'll be delighted. Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
Alfa Romeo employs an alternate tyre strategy that pays off, following Casper Ackermann to seal not only the top 10 finish position, but also the fastest lap of the race here at Sochi. We're smashing through our objectives. Let's see if Brian's got anything to add.
Brian.
Cass, meant to say, nice work on that fastest lap. That's a welcome point, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the team did well.
Well, you drove the thing, Cass. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Look, there are rumours you'll try and wriggle out of the team dinner tomorrow. Put my mind at rest, would you?
I'm coming to the team dinner, Brian.
Beautiful place we booked. Reason to celebrate. You're gonna love it. Is Zoe still coming?
Yeah, she wouldn't miss it.
Terrific. Wonderful. Are you excited, Cass? Tell me you're excited.
I'm certainly attending.
Small victories, I suppose. We'll see you there.
Thanks, Brian.
Well, Brian, as always, just not quite on the same wavelength as anyone else here in Breaking Point. Oh, we're getting more calls coming through, though.
Hey, Zoe.
Hey, everyone's talking about the team dinner. We're still going, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, come on, Cass. You'll miss these things when they're gone.
We'll see.
Why did I marry such a miserable man?
Because he makes up for it with his charm.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah, well, don't believe everything you hear in the news.
What are you up to?
Just emails and stuff.
Okay. I think I'll head back to the hotel.
I'll see you there.
Bye.
Too many calls. Too many calls. I can never be a Formula 1 driver. But there we go then. Chapter 12 and 13 done and dusted here on F1 2021 My Team. A massive thank you to all of you guys that have continued watching this series and enjoying it. We'll quickly claim some rewards at the end there as well. You can see we're pretty well through the podium pass here on F1 2021. But we'll be back tomorrow. I think we've only got 2 more episodes to go of this series, so make sure you come back. You would not want to miss it. None of these videos could be possible without the support of our channel members, so a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan and David Bennett for becoming channel members. You can join them and be featured in these end clips by clicking the join button down below.